Hi again. Hey, so I'm at day 19 and I'm still going to continue on a little bit with the theme that I've been kind of unpacking the last couple of days with intentional living. And yesterday I specifically was discussing intentional behavior with regards to our money. And I guess that kind of leads in quite nicely actually with my desire to go abroad for at least a year, but I think it's going to probably end up being more than a year just because I have so many countries I'd like to see. And I'm a really huge fan of slow travel, which means I want to spend 2 to 3 months in a particular spot, which means maximum would be 6 countries a year. So that really limits how much I'll be moving around. But anyway, the main reason that I'm doing this, without all the backstory, that I'll be gone for at least a year, is because of the foreign income tax exclusion and how it will help me save on federal income tax. And hey, like that's a total win, right? And in addition to that, if I do my planning and I'm very intentional about where I go when I'm going to these places, I should be able to live for less than I currently do in the United States. Now, I'm not 100% sure that that will actually play out in reality, only because I am in a roommate situation right now, and therefore I already have a pretty reduced housing expense, which tends to be our most significant expense every month, and that's the main reason why I'm currently living with a roommate, just because it helps cut down on expenses, and I'm rarely there anyhow, just between my current travel and the dog sitting that I do in addition to running my business. So the intentional part of that and how that all segues into this intentional living is it's giving me the ability to be very intentional about my money and reducing my expenses, whether that's my actual cost of living or taxes, because taxes, they can eat up a significant chunk of, our money. So that is one area where it's incredibly intentional living. But the other area is I have to be very intentional as I plan. And this runway that I currently have right now to get to the day of leaving, a lot of stuff I have to do. I have to learn more about travel redemption. I have been great about accumulating travel rewards points, but I don't know the best method in which to redeem them. So I've been trying to consume a lot of podcasts. If I hear a little snippet of something, then I go and I research it on the internet or I post in Facebook groups. So I've been doing all I can to try to learn more about that. And also had a session this week with a couple who have traveled around the world, I want to say 3 times, and they gave me some really great tips, and they were gracious enough to give me this document that says a year out, you should be thinking about this. 6 months out, you should be thinking about this. So they've done a lot. I've already been accumulating a crazy list of to-dos, things to get settled beforehand. And that extra work that I'm absorbing with my typical days has caused me to try to be even more intentional about how it is I'm spending my time. And so this whole theme of intentionality is really it is so in my life right now. It's always been in my life, but it really seems to be amplified with the addition of trying to figure out all the logistics with going and living overseas for a minimum of a year, but likely more than a year. So, listeners, watchers, lookers, tell me if you have any great resources to share for travel rewards. I already know the most obvious ones, the Points Guy, $1 Million Mile, I think is one of them. So I would love any resources you have, and as always, would love you to comment in this particular video some of the things that you're doing with regards to being very intentional with your life, your money, your day, your schedule, all of it. I would just absolutely love to know. All right, talk to you later.